And you can have it all with your membership in the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce.
This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital.
And welcome back to Strictly Business. I'm Nathan Ollie, and it's time for the closing bell. The Kern County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, along with Kern Federal Credit Union, will host their February Business Mixer. That's this coming Wednesday, February 11th, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Elements venue at 3401 Chester Avenue. Cost for members is $5, and for non-members is $10. SCORE presents Social Media Secrets, which transforms followers into customers. This is a webinar that's talking about how to grow your social media presence and how to convert that traffic into leads and leads into customers. The webinar is this Thursday, February the 12th at 10 a.m., and you can register online at score.org. The Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce has a couple of upcoming events, and for more on those, here's Melissa Rossiter, the Manager of Marketing Communications at the Chamber News Desk. Welcome back, Melissa.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy your stay at the happiest place on earth?
I did.
All right.
I did. How did you enjoy your stay since we both went to the same conference?
I am a toddler dad who is worn out. So what do we got going on this week?
Okay, well, we have several events coming up to tell you about today. The Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce is now accepting nominations for the Beautiful Bakersfield Awards. Awards will be based on work completed in 2014. Nominations will remain open through Friday, March 20th. Applications can be downloaded at bakersfieldchamber.org or picked up at the Chamber office located at 1725 I Street. The Chamber will explore the impact the drop in oil prices will have right here in Kern County at its next Good Morning Bakersfield breakfast on Monday, February 23rd at the Doubletree by Hilton, located at 3100 Camino del Rio Court. Speakers for the breakfast will be Chad Hathaway, owner of Hathaway LLC, Blair Knox, Public Affairs Director for the California Independent Petroleum Association, and Nick Ortiz, Manager of the Production Regions for the Western States Petroleum Association. Check-in and networking begin at 6:30 a.m., and the program runs from 7 to 8:30 a.m. The cost is $35 for members and $75 for non-members. A table of 10 is $325 for members. To register, call the Chamber at 661-327-4421 or online at bakersfieldchamber.org. The Chamber will hold its next Small Business Networking Breakfast on Thursday, March 12th. Marcella Ives with the American Cancer Society and Jennifer Nato with Outlets at Tejon will discuss how to land contracts with their companies. Check-in and networking begin at 7:30 a.m., with the breakfast lasting from 8 to 9:30 a.m. To register, call the Chamber at 661-327-4421 or online at bakersfieldchamber.org. And haven't posted your mandatory 2015 employment notice poster yet? The Chamber still has some available. This convenient all-in-one poster contains the 16 required state and federal employment notices every California employer must post regardless of the size of their business. Failure to post can cost your company as much as $17,000 in penalties. Posters can be purchased at the Chamber office for $32 plus tax. Nathan, that's all I have. I'll toss back your way.
Okay, thanks very much, Melissa. And the last item we have here, how to play by the rules in California. That's the subject of a new webinar. Learn how to follow the Golden State's rules for compensating non-exempt employees when you attend Cal Chamber's proactive 90-minute webinar. In addition to discussing how to classify exempt and non-exempt employees, our employment law experts at the California Chamber will cover recent developments in wage and hour laws, as well as other important employer obligations. That's next Thursday, February the 19th, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and the cost is $199. You can register online at calchamber.com or call 1-800-331-8877. Also, the Bakersfield Chamber will host a seminar called Facing the Media, what every business owner needs to know, and that's tomorrow morning, February the 10th. One of the speakers is Jim Luff. He's the CEO of Limousine Scene, and he's here to talk about what we can expect tomorrow. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me here.
So you're on camera right now, and you don't look intimidated, but why are people often intimidated when they have to go on camera?
I think that within the community, we have so many volunteer charitable organizations that are engaged in promoting whatever event they're producing. And the volunteers really don't have expertise or experience in doing on-air interviews. And I've watched some that were just botched miserably, where the message failed to get out there. So that was really the beginning of this whole thing, is to say, you basically get 3 minutes, maybe 4 tops, to get your message out. And I see so many people that go on the air that are just ill prepared for it, that could do much better in conveying their message if they just planned a little bit before. So this seminar is designed to help them plan.
Okay, so we don't want to give it away, but how about a couple of basic tips that you can share for people? That,
Basic tips when you're coming on air, you need to have the who, what, when, where, why, and how in your head.
Okay.
And those things need to be organized in what is most important. For instance, if you're promoting an event, certainly the date of your event is the most important thing. The location of your event is important, how much the tickets are, and honestly, the organizers putting the event on, while it's important, it's probably the least important, because if people are going to go to a bacon festival, they're going to go because they want to go to a bacon festival, not necessarily because they're wanting to give the money to a particular charity. So you want to make sure at the beginning of the interview that you are giving the pertinent information, and then the fluff at the end.
Okay, and don't be afraid to use notes. I see you have your notes here. Don't be afraid to not commit it all to memory, but go ahead and
exactly.
use your notes.
I mean, even though your segment might be 4 minutes long, don't be afraid to take notes and cover your notes and make sure that you cover everything. But this seminar was really born out of me watching 2 of my friends do an interview promoting a golf tournament.
Okay.
And it was probably the worst interview I've ever seen. Just talking about what they were wearing instead of what the event was, talking about the weather, and speaking of what they're wearing, one of them had a ball cap on that was pulled down over his eyes, and that's not a good thing. So I thought, the Chamber does so many great seminars and webinars that help business owners, that this would be a good opportunity to teach them, don't be intimidated by the media. And one thing that I will say is that most of the time when you're being interviewed by the media, the person interviewing you doesn't really know a lot about your event. So it's up to you to share why you're on TV.
Okay. Well, so basically what we're talking about here is just the preparation. So the preparation kind of eliminates a lot of that intimidation factor.
It does. I mean, I think it's intimidating anytime you have a camera in your face and you have bright lights in your face, and it's not what you're used to doing. So by planning it out in advance and knowing what you're going to say, what your intended message is, it just flows a lot smoother. And I see a lot of the local interviews do 2 people on set being interviewed. I think it's really important before the interview starts to determine who's going to tackle what type of subjects.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when the anchor will toss it to the group, they'll look at each other. And
or
again,
talk over each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so, by saying, hey, you're going to talk about operational issues, I'm going to talk about marketing issues, or whatever the case may be, predefine it so when you go on the air that if the anchor throws out a question, you're not talking over each other or looking at each other like, who's going to answer that?
Okay. Now, how about applying some of these principles to even just an interview with a print reporter?
I think a lot of them would a lot of the ideas that we're going to present in this seminar would help people do any type of media interview, whether it's print, whether it's radio, whether it's TV, but preparing for it. And certainly doing live television is a lot different than doing a recorded interview, where if you screw up, I see people that screw up that stop and say, oh, I made a mistake. Can we start over again?
Oh, no, we're live.
And when you're doing a recording, there's no need to say that. You just stop and start over again and know that an editor's going to cut all that out and nobody's going to see you or hear you misspelling something or mispronouncing something. It'll be taken care of.
Okay. Now, this seminar tomorrow, who specifically is this targeted to? Who should if they haven't made their reservations already, who should give us a call right after the show and say, I've got to be there?
Anybody that has the potential to be featured in media, whether they're involved in a volunteer organization or whether as a part of their employment, they would be considered the spokesperson for their company. Anybody that has the potential to be in front of the media explaining anything to the media should be in attendance.
Okay, and it's important to remember that the media is not trying to catch you in a trap if you're promoting an event like this, right?
That is true. And I'm thinking people that put on fundraisers, people that are officers within charitable organizations, people that would have an opportunity to speak to the media on behalf of their company, promoting an upcoming event or anything that they would be in front of the media would be a good candidate for this class.
Okay, well, that sounds terrific. We appreciate it, Jim. Thank you very much. And we hope to see everybody tomorrow, February the 10th. And once again, that is Media, What Every Business Owner Should Know, Facing the Media, What Every Business Owner Should Know. And you'll find out how to master taking your message to the media with Lisa Kirch from the Kern High School District, and Jim Luff is the CEO of the Limousine Scene. The seminar is tomorrow, February the 10th, and check-in at networking begins at 11:30 a.m., with the seminar running from noon to 1 p.m. A boxed lunch will be provided. And the location of the seminar is at our offices at the Chamber, 1725 I Street. The cost is $30 for members of the Chamber and $60 for non-members. To register, give us a call at 661-327-4421 or register online at www.bakersfieldchamber.org. And that's all the time we have this week. I want to thank our guests, Jim Luff of Limousine Scene, Louis Amistoy of the Bakersfield Californian. We also had Jeremy Tobias and Emilio Wagner of the Community Action Partnership of Kern, and Kevin Bartle of the Bakersfield Condors for joining us this morning. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with a new Strictly Business, with a Best of Strictly Business show next week on the President's Day holiday. So we hope you enjoy your holiday weekend. For Melissa Rossiter, for my new Kellen Jones bobblehead doll, and for all of us at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, I'm Nathan Ollie. Have a great week.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield, California